Check, check. Hello, check. Hello. Hello, hello. Check, check. Hello.
respected dignitaries, participants. I am Dr. Sangeeta, Head Professional Societies and from Department of EC. I welcome you all for today's program, IP and Technology Transfer Meetup, organized under AICT Indovation Center. Let me first brief you about this center. AICT Indovation Center, initiated by All India Council for Technical Education, focuses on fostering innovation and entrepreneurship among students in technical education institutions across India. It aims to provide a platform for students to ideate, innovate, and develop solutions to address real-world challenges through technology and creativity. The center supports and nurtures innovative ideas from conception to implementation, encouraging students to become future innovators and entrepreneurs in various fields of technology and beyond. We are honored to have dignitaries over here. Now it's my pleasure to welcome all the guests onto the dais. To start with, I request our principal sir, Dr. J.V.R. Ravindra sir, to come onto the dais. Now I request our guest, Ms. Shravanti ma'am from ICRISAT, to come onto the dais. It's my pleasure to invite Dr. Bhima Reddy sir, Manager, AICT Innovation Center, onto the dais. Once again, we welcome you all, sir and ma'am. Now, to continue further, I request our principal, sir, Dr. J.V.R. Ravindra, sir, to address all the participants and give a brief about today's program.
Thank you very much, Sangeeta. Good morning to all of you. Hey, good morning. Be active, right? CEOs, vice presidents, and owners must be always active, right? So we wanted to see all of you in that positions, right? Thank you very much. Respected dignitaries on the dais, Bhima Reddy garu, Shravanti ma'am, and other dignitaries of the dais, and participants from the various engineering colleges and other associations, digital media people. It's very honored to be a part of this, and I'm very happy to share some of our experiences over a period of time, if not on this same time, with all of you. That's what actually we were talking about this particular Indovation Center, India Innovation, just a couple of minutes back. See, gone those days where you learn certain things in the classroom and then go somewhere to the laboratory and then implement it and then write your success story. So probably that kind of the culture, I would say that it is obsolete, but we have to think in a different way. The attitude that we have to build, the startup attitudes, innovations, IPs, we have to build, because the resources that actually we are having in India is phenomenal. There is a lot of knowledge resources that you are having, like AICTE, who are just sitting in front of you, and happy to share with you all of the things. But only the thing is that we have to come forward and then see that how we have to take this idea forward. What I would really say is that nowadays getting the ideas to some extent is easy, but converting that idea to the product will take a lot of time. And in that particular process, if you don't meet the right people and if you don't connect with the right people, so this turnaround time from the idea to the product may even take more than what actually you think, maybe 2 years or 3 years. But in the business culture, we have something called TTM, time to market. So if you don't convert that particular idea to the product in the given time, then somebody will definitely overcome you and then move ahead. And then, I mean, it's not that they are going to copy your idea, but the similar idea will come into the market, so probably your idea may be even obsolete. So you have to connect with always the right persons, right people, and then move forward and take that particular one into a faster way. And but at the same time, because the world is growing in 360 degrees, both in positive as well as the negative way, and we have to always secure our ideas. So that's where the property rights will also come into the existence. And in VLSI, normally I'm a graduate in electronics and communication, and I work in VLSI design related problems as well as in the solutions. And in VLSI, we say one point, that is design for security, which is the most hot topic in the chip designing it. So the companies like Apple, Sony, whoever manufacturing the digital products, they wanted to get this DFS into the picture, wherein you leave your mobile phone on the road, and after 2 years, if you come there, we wanted to see the mobile phone there. Can we give that kind of the security to your mobile phones? No. So people, even I own my Apple phone, and if I own my Apple phone and if I go to the market, I have to keep my hand on my pocket and then I have to walk, because, is it not? I mean, it's true for everybody, in fact, right? So the only very first thing that we always care about is that what happens if I lose my mobile phone, right? Because there is no security there. So there are many security algorithms are going to come already, and then people are really converting that particular security algorithm into the product. Now we are in a kind of situation where it is something like, it's not win-win situation, it is lose-lose situation, because I lost it and you also lost it. Even you got the mobile phone also, you cannot use that mobile phone at this moment. So IP rights are there, but it's not in the full-fledged. We are not getting them on the right platform. So we are in a particular position that I can block it, but you cannot use that. Till that it is true, but that's a lose-lose situation which we should never think about. It's something like win-win situation. So therefore, many aspects that we have to see, not only in this particular area, many things that we have to see. So everywhere you think about a particular one, there is some kind of the delta T innovation is also there, and then we can really think about it. So if you can just start looking at those kind of the innovations, many things that we can do it. So anyway, so once again, thank you very much. Thank you, sir, for your time, and madam for your gracious presence. And once again, we heartily welcome to the Vardhaman College. And if time permits, we would like to show you all the innovations that actually we have done. And probably if we couldn't do it, I request you to give us some more day, whatever that is feasible with you. And so that's it. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, sir, for your address. Now it's my pleasure to introduce our guest, Ms. Ravanti Vedula ma'am. She is an IP management professional with experience of 6 years in international public research organization involved in agricultural research. She is responsible for facilitating IP management activities such as IP protection, IP awareness and knowledge dissemination, IP advisory and mentoring, and technology transfer for various stakeholders, including agribusiness professionals, scientists, startups, and innovators in the agricultural innovation ecosystem. It's my honor to have you over here, ma'am. Now I request Ravanti ma'am to address everyone over here.
Good morning, everyone. So, thank you for that short and sweet introduction. So, my main objective to be here is to interact with the stakeholders of the Telangana's innovation ecosystem, and I'm very fortunate that I got to meet Dr. Bhima, and he's the right person to connect people like us, the IP facilitators, with stakeholders like you, so that the right support is being extended to you in a way it should. Okay. Before I start my session, I just want to understand what kind of, I mean, who all you are and what is your background and what is your expectation, so that we can take it forward in the session. I take it next. Okay. My objective is to kind of give you information on the basics foundation, so that I understand your expectations, what are your needs, and then plan accordingly what exactly you want to hear. I don't want to tell what I know. I want to tell you what you want to hear and what you require. Okay. Even in case if I don't know something that you need, allow me to get back to you so that I can plan some sessions, some information that can be helpful to you. So today, it's going to be like an introductory session sort of a thing. We want to start a meaningful conversation with all of you, so that the expectations are set, and I and Dr. Bhima can plan accordingly what is the kind of knowledge dissemination, the support that you require, and get that to you. Okay. So it's a great pleasure to be here at Vardhaman, because I'm also an engineer. So when I was doing my engineering, I know where Vardhaman stands. So it is one of the premier engineering colleges in the state of Telangana. So yeah, I'm very proud to be here. So this I'm talking about 15 years back. So Vardhaman has been the top college since 15 years, and I know even before that as well. So that's why I feel very I feel lots of gratitude to be here, because when I was doing my engineering, I never expected that I'll be in this place. So I'm very fortunate that I'm here. I want to interact with all of you. So thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for the inspiring words. Now, it's my pleasure to it's my pleasure to introduce our next guest, Dr. Bhima Reddy, sir. He is currently a manager at IP and Technology Transfer AICT. His professional experience includes... okay, sir. I request sir to address everyone.
Hi, good morning. So this is Dr. Bhima Reddy. I represent both MI, like Minister of Education, as well as AICT. I am the manager IP and Tech Transfer for SCR region. I represent both. I have jurisdiction of both Telangana and Andhra as well. So here main objective of we having such meets is like we want to know what kind of problems do you have on the IAC, and also we want to educate you about new schemes which are there in AICT. And also, we want to share a lot of new changes have come up in AICT and all that. So we want to share the details with you. And also, we want to listen to your ideas, because as I mentioned in the mail sent to you guys, we are scouting for technologies across, so that we want to find some nice technologies which can be commercialized in a sense, which can be probably, as madam said, we want to help you guys with IP filing and all that, because with MSME IPFC Center, we are trying to do it at no cost actually. Then one more objective is like we are planning an industry come investor meet during August or September, which is tentatively during August or September. We are scouting for technologies which can be a part of that. So my objective here, because I see that a lot of you have submitted your ideas also, we would love to listen to them, probably evaluate you guys, and probably help you guys to take it forward. So the main objective of me coming here and we gathering here would be that. So thank you, and looking forward to your presentations and listening from you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm sure all the participants are equally excited to present their ideas before you. Now to continue further, I request our principal, Dr. JVR Ravindra, sir, to felicitate our guest. To start with, Ms. Ravanti, ma'am. I request sir to felicitate Bhima Reddy, sir. Mutually, I'll request our guest to felicitate our principal, sir. Thank you. Now we'll continue with our agenda. We have a talk on IP and technology transfer by Ms. Ravanti ma'am. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So before the talk, we would like to have an introduction of all the participants present here. Mic, mic.
So good morning. Dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, and beloved colleagues and student friends, so present media, and myself, Dr. P.V. Ramarao, professor in EEE Department, Mathur Venkat Subbarao Engineering College, looking after the IAC activities and MSME business incubation activities in the college. And of course, I met few times Sravanti madam in OTBI, so she has given a talk also on IP and all. There you have given the how to go for the way forward for IP filing and all. That's what I heard on that day. I think so the advanced level, like because especially the inventors are though they are having interest and enthusiasm, somehow they are failing to file, or what you call, even if is available, they are not filing the patents. So please focus on that issue. So of course there are no challenges also in the e-filing of the patents, but still they are struggling to file the e-patents. So that means how to encourage or what you call or enhance the filing of patents in engineering college like our Mathur Venkat Subbarao or other engineering college. Thank you very much.
Hi, very good morning to the dignitaries on the dais and wonderful people present over here. My name is Noman Abdul Majid and I represent Lord's Institute of Engineering and Technology. And I am the Associate Director and CMO, and with me is my team there, Mr. Sumit and Mr. Santan. We come here, thank you so much for inviting us. We have been last year ranked between the band of 100 to 150 Lords, and we hope to learn a lot this time, and we are conducting an event called Shark Tank at the end of this month. I invite you all to our campus. It's something which is going to be a game changer for the academic incubators. Our problem is we are an academic incubator, so we cannot have a match with a corporate incubator. So we hope to have a wonderful discussion. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Myself, Dr. U.K. Chaudhary. I am from Chaitanya Bharati Institute of Technology, working there as a professor and advisor, innovation and incubation. I am a professor in EEE department. And before joining CBIT, I worked 38 years in BHEL. I was heading corporate R&D as well as collaboration and joint ventures. And that time, let me tell you, the patents in industry is totally different, and academia, when I see, it is different. So we used to file 500 patents in a year in BHEL, and that was our target because we give it to Department of Heavy Industries, our target. So when you come to educational institution, of course, last 4 years I have been here with CBIT. We try to do a lot of patents and try to see that the patents which are being filed can become some useful for the society or for the industry or for the community. If that can come, it is not just for the name of filing, but something, we should get a grant. All of us, we know filing and publishing is not so difficult because if you want me to file 50 patents in 2 months and publish it, it is possible. But getting one grant is very difficult because unless everything is prepared well in advance and it is submitted, you don't get a grant. So this is one, and technology transfer, what AICT has taken a step forward. This is one thing, was the Kapila scheme was a good scheme, so that people upload their patents in that AICT portal, so it gets noticed. College will get noticed what are the things they are doing in IP. And next step, what they have taken with the IP and technology transfer and commercialization, this is really a big step, so that people will understand what is a technology transfer, how the patents can be given to any private industry for manufacture, so that accordingly when they are developing the product, something called technology, they will keep all records and drawings, then all the theory part of it and explanation part of it. So all that it is, when you talk about technology transfer document, it is like any product you take, it will be 2 volumes or maybe some 500 or 300 pages of document along with drawings. So when you transfer, because we have done many technology transfers, we see. So this is what is to be taken care by. So the initiative which is taken by AICT will definitely help HEIs to achieve all this. All the best. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Dr. Radhika, Manager IPR with Spilani. So I'm happy to interact with everyone, and I hope the session will be fruitful and we grab a handful of stakeholders before going. Thanks.
Sabha Saraswati Namaha. This is Dr. Sriharsha, Associate Professor in Shreyas Institute of Engineering and Technology. I'm a chartered accountant and cost accountant. When I did my doctorate from IIM Bengaluru, this was the topic actually. And unfortunately, even after 2 decades, same is the topic that we are learning. Learning, that's it. Some time ago, my elder brother, he's working as a professor in Tirupati University. He innovated a seed called Columbo seed, next type. He tried to patent it actually. Unfortunately, he was unable to do it. And later we came to know that after 2 years, some other person from another nation, they took it. See, actually we do every innovation. Unfortunately, we do not know the next step, like commercialization, test marketing, etc. This is, maybe we people are lagging behind. I hope we'll learn something here on that actually. On that actually, we are here. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. This is Mir Ali from BITS Pilani. So I'm an assistant manager at BITS Pilani, Hyderabad. And we are looking forward for interaction of how we can convert the IPs that are filed into a product. Because as a technology business incubator, we always look more of the IP to convert into a product where the startup journey starts. So we are looking a journey or a pathway to build where we can develop a platform to convert all these IPs into a product so that the commercializations happen much faster. Thank you.
Hello, good morning, one and all on the dice as well as off the dice. I'm Dr. Vishal Walia from Guru Nanak Institute of Technology. I'm taking care of IIC activities there. Along with me is Dr. Ramakadeshwar Rao. He's helping me out in other activities being conducted with other departments and government bodies. So what we are here for is we have developed few products in last one and a half years, but we are not able to find the path ahead of it. Means we have filed the patent also. We are not able to attract investors. We don't know how to go for commercialization. That is what we expect from this workshop to be.
Good morning, sir. Myself, Sridhar from Sridevi Women's Engineering College. I'm an associate professor. I'm the member of IIC. So here it's a good thing to hear that you have provided this platform for us to know about these patents and all these things. So I would like to ask how to get the students into this. That's the main thing I want to ask. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, I am Ajay Kumar from MRCW Hyderabad. I'm here to gain some information on IPR and also for some of the innovative ideas over here. Thank you.
Good morning all. So myself Dr. M. Jagannathan from Malareddy Institute of Technology and Science. So anyhow, I'm going to get some inputs related to IP and technology transfer, and we have a student team, like 3 different topics they have come up with. They're going to give a presentation, and let me hope we'll get further steps how to proceed with those ideas. Thank you.
Good morning, respected dignitaries on the days and my colleagues of the days. I'm Dr. B. Nagmani from Geetanjali College of Engineering and Technology. Today I'm representing the college as an IIC coordinator and would like to understand how commercialization and technology transfer can happen with the patents that we have published with the students and how to proceed. Thank you.
Good morning all. My name is Dr. U. Sri Lakshmi, working as a professor in the Sridevi Women's Engineering College. Recently, I joined in Sridevi Women's Engineering College. I am the member in Vice President of IAC. The few members are my colleagues are here. All are IAC members. We are working in that IAC with a good output. We are expecting from your outcome of your session. Based on that only, we will give the training to our students and we will give the best outcome. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Shravan from CMR Engineering College. I was coordinator of IIC on the Department of EC. I'm representing Department of EC. So today I came to learn about various events and various technologies that were identified in various colleges, and I would like to learn the things that are implementing in another colleges. Thank you, madam.
Good morning, everybody here. Myself, Dr. Muhammad Azizuddin. I am IIC coordinator representing Deccan College of Engineering and Technology affiliated to Osmania University. I am here with two ideas of my students. One is Cordel and other is Decrypt. Earlier also he has presented this many times, looking for commercial startup. I am here to present that as well as learn the things, how to proceed further for these startups. Thank you.
Hello. Good morning, ma'am. This is Parshuram from Sri Hindu College. I'm a IIC member and I'm a coordinator of SUB in my college. And ma'am, we are so many prototypes we are developing, but we are unable to publish effectively. And IP filing also we are doing, but we are depends on third party, ma'am. Can you give a direct approaches and those things, ma'am? And one more thing, and funding also we are unable to get, ma'am. So about that also we need to learn from these sessions, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. T. Aditya, Assistant Professor in AML Department, representing JPNC College, Mehboob Nagar. This is for the first time I am attending this meeting, and I would like to learn something new.
Good morning, one and all. I'm Dr. Mava Pavani, Professor in Nallamala Reddy Engineering College at Anmas College. So I'm the coordinator for IIC cell. I'm bringing my students also having some ideas. So how to get funding, how to share the knowledge of other ideas also we'd like to know. We know how to patent, how to IPR, already we filed. They worked under 2 to 3 ideas, but some doubts he is having. We'd like to clarify those things and how to get the funding and also how to commercialize it also we'd like to know. For that we came here. Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
I wanted to introduce you to the one. It's better, please come. Let me introduce, she's Dr. Padmini. It's better you introduce yourself. And Mukta, you also expected.
Good morning, one and all, and I welcome you to the Vardhaman College of Engineering and for a wonderful session today. I'm Dr. Padmini Chirla. I'm heading Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship at our campus. And few of the points that we just had a discussion, or few of the points that have been raised. Students can be better involved when you have this kind of product or project or innovation mindset or any courses related to it, relevant to it. So in that direction, our Center of Innovation and Entrepreneurship also has an inbuilt cell, which is all of community engagement. That is the Center for Community Innovation and Transformation. In that, we have a basic courses also introduced with as our institution is autonomous. We have 4 different courses which is engaging the students in community problem statements and giving some solution to them. So in that aspect, we are a bit, I don't say 100% successful, but we are pretty good in that area of filing the patents and other things. So student innovations are coming up, respectively products are coming up, they are reaching to the community. So whenever there is an innovation in it, we are going for IP patenting. So getting the students engaged in the innovation is one of the path which will lead to the IP filing to that extent the students can reach to. Happy to share you with these things and welcome you all once again. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Dr. Mukta Jagdish. I am working as an head IPR and consultancy for Vardhaman College of Engineering and also as an associate professor. And for ministry, I am also working as a young scientist and technologist. Today, we are here to talk about this very innovative sessions where we can work on the product, how we are going to make the innovation into a productive startups. So this session will be a very more informative, and I welcome everyone so that our the workshop will be goes on very good, and the production which we are going to work for a patent and how we are making it into transferable into commercialization. That session will be very useful, sir. Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Actually, based on what you guys said, actually getting investments and IP transfer is all about how do you match them to the respective persons. Actually, see, I've been in this area for about 8 years. I'm a PhD postdoc in agriculture sciences by education, but I had that bug of a startup and made 2 startups, sold it off. But I tell you, matching the right technology to the right person, because I've been in this investment field for about 8 years, interacted with a lot of VCs, raised about more than 100 to 150 crores of investments to different startups. So probably once we hear you out, we'll get a better clarity on what TRL level you are in and what kind of investors come into play at that stage. And probably matching you to right grants based on your TRL is also very important. So once we hear you out, then probably we'll be able to help you out also. Thank you.
Thank you. It was a wonderful introduction from all the participants, and I'm sure the next 2 sessions that we are going to have, you will be having all the questions that queries you have raised, everything will be answered. Now, I request everybody to come forward for a group photograph. Thank you. Shravanti ma'am. Before having session by ma'am, because the tea is ready outside, I request everybody to break for a short tea break, refresh yourselves and come back so that we'll have the session. I request all the participants to sign the attendance sheet form that is being circulated. In case you are done with that, please ignore. But if you haven't done it, please sign on the sheet. Now I request Shravanti Vedula ma'am to take over the session.
So thank you so much. I think the introductions helped me a lot to understand what you want to hear, what is your requirement and all. So, Bhima sir is here? Oh, great. Sir, I have a request to you. Can we make this a completely interactive session? I don't want to go into the cliche presentation mode, so that, you know, as and when I'm interacting, there might be questions that you also can answer. So in the topics that I am familiar with, I will answer their questions. The ones that you can take it up. Okay? So after listening to all of you, the first question that I want to understand is, most of you are having this bug that how do we, motivate students to come up with innovation and, patent filing, right? How many of you have IP policies in your colleges? Just raise your hands. IP policies. BITS Pilani, CBIT, Lords, Guru Nanak, Shreyas, Mallareddy, Vardhaman. Great. So can any one college let me know what are the provisions in your IP policy? What is that inclusion that you have made in your IP policy that can benefit the innovators? Otherwise, not just innovators, can you tell me what is there in your IP policy? Anyone, you can volunteer.
There's a financial incentive.
Sorry? Financial incentive, okay.
Representation to the state and central funding policies.
Okay.
We just handholding them and taking them all the way to the DIT. We have submitted 3 such patents, and sir is already there.
Yeah, so you said you have an IP policy, right? So in that IP policy, like how sir from Shreyas Institute, right? I have mentioned that, there is a provision for financial incentives. Do you have an idea of what are the financial incentives? What is that model? Any idea?
I cannot exactly explain that.
But maybe just a vague idea. Okay. From my experience, when I have been interacting with colleges and universities, yeah, maybe.
See, whenever IP policy is formed, whenever a faculty, he wants to put his work as a innovation for a patent. So he always thinks, no, it is like when I'm writing a paper, my name is appearing. Whereas in an industry, when you work in an industry, patent, the applicant is the industry, because you work in the industry and all the money is spent by industry, salary is given by the industry. So it is the applicant, you are the inventors. Okay, you are given certain honorarium, like if the patent is granted, if it is, we put them in, I'm first talking about industry, then I'll come to the colleges. So we pay 20,000 rupees as an honorarium. If it is, we put them in 3 categories, C category, B category, and A category. So 20,000, this I'm talking about 10 years back when I was dealing all this. So then 30,000 for B category. A category means where immediately gets commercialized. So it's all linked to commercialization. It is not that today I just file it. It's like publishing a paper is different, filing a patent is different. Companies should get some money, should get some earning, some revenue should be there, some sales should be there. Like a product we have taken, company has invested few lakhs for this development, you file a patent, and maybe 1 year, 2 years, then that idea gets converted to a product, it is sold to customers, and from customers we get feedback, version 1, version 2, it goes, and finally it is commercialized. So once that part is done, so even though initially it may be evaluated as C category, it will go to jump to A category. Rest of the money will be, this is like honorarium given, and company spends all the money for filing patent. That is one. And your name remains as an inventor. It appears as an inventor, not as an applicant. Whereas when I see the colleges, what is happening? The faculties are filing in their names. Institute is not the applicant. Many. CBIT, you have made it compulsory because time is spent in CBIT, facilities are given by CBIT, money for the product development is given by CBIT. So hence the applicant is CBIT. It's a justification I'm giving why it should be. Why? Then if applicant is the institute, then institute owns it. This is how the policy describes. So institute will own it. Suppose today filing, there is expenditure. If you say filing, you just go, there is 8,100 is the government fee for institute. In fact, it is only 20%. That institute will pay. Suppose you go to an attorney, any good attorney will charge you 30 to 35,000 plus for a filing, drafting, filing, and a request for examination. And whenever I see the patent journal, because I read them sometimes, that habit is there from BHL when I was working, because we see what our competitors are doing. We do a patent search, everything, to see in our areas what competitors are doing. Similarly, competitors will search what we are doing. Here, of course, we don't do. There is also a good, this thing you should see that this is my research area, some patent I am doing, I can do a search in that area, how many patents are coming. So all these expenditures will be taken care by the institutes. When it comes for examination, questions are asked, again you need to pay money to the attorney to pay those things. That's about 25,000 like that, approximate numbers I'm taking. And hearing maybe 15,000, depending on the attorney. And some attorney may even charge 1 lakh for 1 lakh plus for this good attorney who are A-class attorneys. And of course, your probability of grant goes high if you go to a good attorney who patents, who drafts it properly. So these things college takes care. And when the patent comes, though it is not policy, it is not mentioned, what we do, we correct them. Whenever any faculty, they will come, they will write, as per the policy, they will write to the principal, then it will come to me, then I will go through, then ask them to change. Maybe 1 or 2 times or 3 times, this will go through the changes. These are the help institute is giving to the faculty. So it becomes a proper patent, then it will go to the attorney for converting to a techno-legal document. So this college will take care, as per the policy, college will take care. So grant, everything will be processing. Renewal, yes, college also will take care as per the policy. Whatever the renewal charges, we do for, first we do for 4 years. Then if it is need is there, we find a commercialization aspect, then it can be extended. Because as you go high, you have to pay quite huge money. Industry pays a huge money like 40,000. Some of my patents which are granted, BHL is paying 40,000 a year or something like that as a maintenance fee. Because we are getting crores and crores of business for there. So you have to, we don't mind paying industrial, but college, it is of course 20%. If it is a 40,000, it will be 10,000. But any college for a patent paying 10,000, unless there is a commercial aspects, that will be seen. So when you say a patent is to be commercialized, like the technology transfer, our patent policy will say certain amount will be given to the inventors. And we have put a formula there. Up to 50 lakhs, certain percentage. Beyond that, certain percentage. And about 10 to 15% will be kept at R&D for all this maintenance of the patents, and some R&D somebody needs those development, those things are kept. So this is how, briefly I will tell you, this is how to, and any student coming out with a patent idea, we also draft them, and students' idea also will be filed. It is not that faculties only will do, not for the student. Any student comes up the idea, we find that, see, I go through their projects. When I find something is good, yes, I tell them, you submit the write-up, give me the thesis. We'll write it for them. College will write for them. And it will go to attorney, and we also pay the fees for them. Students and whoever is the supervisor will be there, and they are also inventors, not the applicant. So this is in brief. Of course, it has so many pages, so many other details are there, how the permission to be taken, everything is well defined there. And as I say, as an inventor, you will be getting a percentage of money when you license it out. So your patent has to be such that somebody else is coming forward to buy it. Like you have developed a product, nobody is there to buy it. So it has to be there. You have to see that in the development stage itself, the patent has to be, the product has to be good, or the process you have developed has to be a better process, so that it can be marketed. See, AICT will help you for all this, but AICT will not write for you, cannot write for you, because 10,000 colleges, so many patents. AICT can handhold and guide you, AICT. And we are happy that there is a center, and Dr. Bhimaji, he is taking care of the center and is going to colleges and telling people that yes, this is what is a great initiative from AICT. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm so glad that you all got to, I mean, this is the kind of gathering, it should be, that, there's not just only one expert on the dais. You are experts in your own domains. And that's how the cross learning needs to happen, right? I am here because I work in the domain. It's not like I'm an expert. I am also learning. So we have a veteran in the IP space today, and I'm getting to learn so much. Honestly speaking, BHL is just beside ICRISAT, and being a public organization, I never knew that BHL has filed 500 patents. They have that strong exactly every year. I never knew that BHL had that strong IP portfolio. So it's a big learning for me.
Yeah, because we only report to Ministry of Heavy Investment.
Exactly.
We don't go outside and publicize. No social media, nothing.
So, and BHEL has been a veteran in that domain for so many years now. Imagine the focus on IP, has started amongst ourselves in the last 5 years. Imagine how advanced BHEL might have already been to file 500 patents every year, being a public research organization. Even ICRISAT is also a public research organization. It's an international organization. But do you know that we don't file patents? We don't. Can anybody tell me what could be the reason? Maybe it can match with your reason why you don't file patents. Some wild guess?
Because we don't do commercialization.
Okay. Okay. Exactly. So ICRISAT is a public research organization, okay? So we get grants from NGOs and governments. So the research that we do, the outcome needs to be disseminated to the larger good, the public good, okay? As you all know, IP is a restrictive right? So if you hold an IP, you are stopping others from using your technology, using your IP. So that's the reason we do not file IPs except for a defensive strategy, as in if we feel that some private company is notorious and we want to stop the private company from, restricting the technology from getting into the market or for the public good. That is when we, think of patenting or IP filing. Okay, so that's the reason we only have filed only 2 patents till date. And whatever research that we do, everything is available for the public, for the farming community. Because our agenda, our objective of research is very different. But the objective of your research can be different from what we are doing. Predominantly, the Indian mindset has always been that, we'll give out the knowledge for free. It's the West concept that, we will commercialize, we will monetize the knowledge, right? Otherwise, we've always been, working in terms of teaching. We will disseminate all the knowledge that we have for free. But what did we get out of it? Don't you think that, the innovations that we are creating now, or what West is embracing, don't you think that we did not have that innovative brains to create something like that? But it did not come into the, the public domain and the publicity, this thing, because we did not get into the IP route, right? So now I'm glad that, we are choosing the IP route, and we are, kind of wise enough to bring the IP component into our innovations, and also that, we can restrict the West or the other countries also to use the technology, or if you want to use our intellectual capacity, you have to pay us, right?
I will give a lot of credit to Ministry of Education Innovation Cell, because they have made it certain rating, based on that. Your NRF Innovation or NRF Engineering also carries marks for the patents, 5 marks for publishing, and 10 marks for grants. You just see 10 marks for grant. I'll give an example here, since it is a discussion session. Suppose one university, I have got a list of university. Yesterday, I was delivering a lecture the strategic steps for the rural entrepreneurs and industrial entrepreneurs to protect their innovative products to about 300 students, 2 hours. 6-hour sessions are there, today 2 hours and tomorrow also 2 hours will be there. So that these students will know that when they are developing an idea, so that process is there. So publication 5 marks, there are colleges which are publishing 200 patents, 300 patents, 800 patents. Even all IITs together might not have published so many patents, because they feel by publishing they will get 5 marks. A lot of money is spent, but when you publish 100 patents, suppose you are getting 5 marks, somebody publishes 50 patents, he will get 2.5 marks. But if you, that 100, the fellow who has published 100, he gets only 10 grants. Out of publishing 50, you also get 10 grants, both of you are getting 10 marks. So your focus should be on the grant. Otherwise, you are never the owner of the patent. It is just published, that's all. And even examination date, after some time, patent office will sideline it. And one more point also I want to add to your policy. When you have a policy, because a lot of startup culture, everything is building, you should have a policy for the startups who are filing the patent, how you want to deal with it. And you are spending money for them for innovation, you are giving some inputs to them. So when you are signing MOU or in your policy, you should talk clearly about the startups, what we should do, because tomorrow people do not know how to deal with the startup, because case by case we cannot do. So if a policy is there, yes. So you should have a very clear innovation, incubation or a startup policy, plus a good IPR policy.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So when I'm coming back to IP policy, the reason that I raised this question is because when I was interacting with a lot of colleges and universities, the first thing that the faculties come and complain is the college is forcing me to draft the application. And I'm like, why? We are there for it. The experts are there. See, you are the expert in your own domain, right? The science part. What is the need for you to, come into the techno-legal domain? I'm leaving it to the colleges to decide why it's happening. But at least what I see is maybe it's the resource constraints, right? Maybe you cannot afford for experts. And that is the reason Ministry of MSME has established these IPFCs, intellectual property facilitation cells. See, the objective of entities like us, ICRISAT has this IPFC cell. So as a part of IPFCs, what we do is we reach out to colleges, we reach out to universities, and we try to handhold, mentor them about every aspect of IP. And it's not just IP protection and IP filing. Now you want to have an IP policy in place. So we will help you how you need to draft the IP policy. What are the kind of things that need to be included in the IP policy? Okay, so how do you frame the policies? What needs to be the clauses? How do you put into practice? So each and everything. I'm sure most of the colleges are now having IP departments, right? How many of the colleges are having IP departments? Vardhaman has one. How many colleges? BITS Pilani. I want to actually understand from BITS Pilani how the IP policy is working or how the IP department functions, so that all of us understand, because see, the colleges here are, can I categorize them into two, state and the national level. So BITS Pilani has the national level outreach and outlook. So I want to understand from BITS Pilani how they are doing in the IP space.
So BITS has, as you said, 5 campuses in Dubai, and in India 4 campuses, Pilani, Goa, Hyderabad and Mumbai. So we are centralized in Hyderabad, we have many departments, and IP is centralized in Hyderabad. That means I'm the manager for all the other campuses. So whatever innovations or inventions happen in the other campuses come to us. And BITS will support financially, right, from the filing until the grant. And after the grant also, BITS will maintain the patents for the inventors. And when it comes for the commercialization, we do have a policy. And when it goes for licensing or technology transfer, we have 70 and 30% of royalty share. We share 70% to the inventors, 30% goes to the BITS. So that's according to the IPR policy.
Okay, so you follow the ICAR IP policy.
Yes.
Okay, great. So, ma'am, is your IP policy publicly available on your website? Or?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. So actually, maybe 3 years back when I was working on a research project, I was trying to understand the IP infrastructure in these educational institutions. Okay, so because I understand that lots of research work and lots of intellectual work is happening at these colleges, but it's just confined to the labs. It's not translating into the market, okay? So to identify what is the issue, so I first try to understand what is the existing IP infrastructure, okay? And I want to be very frank that, you know, most of the colleges, they don't have an IP policy, first thing. This I'm talking about 3 years back. Maybe things could have improved now. That's the reason I want to understand from all of you what is the real-time, progress, okay? Second thing is, even if they have an IP policy, it's not publicly available in the websites, okay? Yeah, if they have it, that is what. So second thing, they do not have that information. Third, there's so many technologies that they're developing, but nobody wants to put out that technology information in the website. Why? Why you don't want to show what are the technologies that you're developing? That maybe this is, I'm talking about 3 years back, this thing. Is this about CBIT? See? Exactly. How, I mean, don't you think this is a very small progress that you can do for your college? QR code, incorporating the QR code system. See, to facilitate technology transfer, first thing is you have to tell that I have a technology. Otherwise, who will, I mean, adagande ammayina annam bettadu ani antaru kada. So, Meeru, if you don't tell that, you know, I have a technology, why would somebody come to your college and personally come and ask, do you have any technologies? No, right? So, the first thing I would say is that start showcasing what you have. It's okay, whatever category of colleges you are in. Ultimately, our aim is to climb the ladder and be there. Namoshi en ledu. Me level ki taggatu, your students are developing the technologies and put it out. What is wrong in it? Right? The first thing is that attitude difference. So first try to put out your technologies. Again, here there is a catch that if you want to have a technology transfer, the foremost important is that you need to have an IP protection, because it increases the chances of the qualitative technology transfer. I mean, without IP protection also you can facilitate for technology transfer, but when your technology is protected by IP, okay, there is a tinge of trust that comes with it, and there is a tinge of interest of the investors that you attract. Okay, so trust. Otherwise, how many of you have seen Shark Tank? Yeah. So have you observed how the pitches are and what are the questions that the investors ask? They ask, do you have a IP filed? Even if the IP gurinchi discussion vachinappudu, they will say, is it filed or is it granted? Most of the colleges, they have this impression that, I mean, this is all my experience of interacting. It could be very different, maybe because I've just interacted with maybe 10% of the colleges. So I'm not talking on behalf of everyone. It's only about the interactions that I have had. And, they keep saying that, we have these many IPs, and, they try to boast it. And I ask, are they, in what stage they are in? Are they just filed or are they granted? Okay? And, they don't know the difference between a filed and a grant. Because, now there is this rankings game that's happening based on IP filings. So colleges are in a hurry to go and file for IPs. Exactly, that's it. But is there quality attached to it? How many of you have filed IPs? I am very sure with bits that what kind of this thing that they follow for quality of IP filing. Maybe from Guru Nanak, I want to understand, when you have filed your IP, what is the strategy that you adopted for filing the IP?
The first priority is with the ideas the students develop. Second is when faculty interact with students, they also try to develop more ideas out of it. And then they go for filing of IPs. So most of them are, as you said, are filing only and for publishing only. So only few, one or two go for granting.
So between the idea generation and filing, there is one important aspect that I'm looking forward to hearing from you.
Yeah.
So what is that you're adopting from idea to IP filing?
Like the people who are inventing, like faculty who are there, they are being guided by our core team, who is there for IPR filing, because we are having IP cell in our department college, so they are helping them out for this thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many of you are actually doing patent search? BITS has again exceeded my expectations. Okay, Google patent database antunara or Google search antunara? Okay. Great. So how many of you are doing patent search? Mm-hmm. Okay.
They also get us the startup certificate and IPR registration from their part. That's the first step we take. Then we go to the next step.
Yeah, that is what. So when the entity that you have engaged for IPR facilitation, so do you have an idea of what is the facilitation support that they're offering before going to IP filing? Okay, so I'll make it more comprehensive for you. When you want to go for your IP filing, you don't necessarily have to approach IPFCs, okay? You might have somebody else in your stakeholder network who can help you out with your IP needs. When you approach to them, there are certain things that you need to understand what kind of support you need to take from them. They will tell you that we will provide this, this, this. If you do not have an idea of what you need, then you will think that what they're providing is only sufficient, right? So first thing, you understand what you actually need. The first, very most basic support that you require is patentability search. All of your students are doing a lot of research and these research projects for third year and final year. How many of the students are actually doing a patent search? There is something called patent literature. I mean, all you faculties do write research papers, right? So when you are writing your research papers, how many of you actually go and do a patent search? Geetanjali. Why? Why are you not doing a patent search? I'll tell you why this is very important. What you find in the journals or what you find in the research papers that is available in the public domain is exactly what the technologies are in the public space right now. What you find in the patent literature is at least 3 to 4 years ahead of information. So what you find in the patent literature will come into the market after 3 or 4 years. So that's the reason it's important that you look out for patent literature. Otherwise, by the time you do your research and all, it's already there in the public domain. There is no innovation component in your research, right? To refine your technologies, to refine your innovation, the first and foremost basic thing is do a patent search. There's so many patent databases that are available for free of cost. WIPO's database, Patent Scope, it's called Patent Scope, that is available for free. And it's very comprehensive database. It has lots of search filters and all. You have Google Patents database as well. So they have lots of patent information. All you have to do is, you have to identify the right keywords, and you just have to enter the keywords. And like, for example, this mic is one technology that you are looking forward to develop on. Do you think that maybe mic was invented maybe 50, 100 years? I'm being very abstract, okay? So do you think after the first mic was invented, there has been no other technologies on mic? No, right? There will be there are technologies that are going on coming into the public space. The basic technology, mic technology, might have been invented 50, 100 years or maybe before that also. But it's the improvisations that are coming on. So these kind of granular information that, in this mic technology, what is the innovation component that's happening, all of that you find it in patent literature. And that patent literature, that patent document is a very technical document. When you go and see how the document is, how the language is, you will understand, you know, you all are science experts, so you will understand, okay, so for a patent filing or for a patent document, this is the kind of language that needs to be followed, this is the kind of content that needs to be put into a patent document. When I interact with the faculties, you know, the one complaint is that, you know, the college forces us to file for patents, and I have this immediate urge to go and talk to their principal that why do you want your faculties to file the patent? Because unfortunately, even the principals or the responsible people also in the college, they also think that drafting a patent document is same as writing a research paper. And it's very unfortunate. Research paper is a technical document. Patent document is a techno-legal document. The language is very different. And the techno-legal language is something that is that only the experts in the field can know, the IP experts who file for the patents, the attorneys. That is what sir was mentioning. So all the colleges who have the IP departments and IP cells, so at least have human resources who are experts in the domain, okay? And try to have people as consultants, or, you know, you collaborate with IPFCs or, you know, similar entities who are hand-holding and mentoring, you know, the innovators and the stakeholders on the IP part, okay? So patentability search is very, very, very important. That's the reason I was asking you, what is the step between idea generation and patent filing? Okay, great. So then this is a good learning for you, that when you constitute your IPFC you know, cell or the committee, what kind of expertise you need to have in the committee. Again, when I say IPFCs, I would say that have one IP expert, have one business expert, have an attorney, and have one person who is expert in the science aspect, right? When I take a technology, and when the technology, when I want to accrue some commercial value to the technology, IP is a tool for it, right? So that team who's facilitating the technology transfer or IP commercialization, they should have an idea of, they should be able to understand what is a technology, right? Other person should be able to understand or, you know, navigate you through the IP related, law related, you know, aspects, right? Other person should be able to help you with the business aspects of, you know, transferring the technology, right? One person will understand the science and they will communicate it to the law, the attorney, saying that this is my technology, now you draft the application. The attorney will try to understand, okay, what is the technology? I will try to put it in the techno-legal document. So they will help you with all the IP filing process and all. Once the IP is filed and granted, what next? You have to accrue some commercial value to it. It means that you have to bring that technology into the market, from lab to market. From IP, just the IP certificate, the patent certificate, to something tangible, some commercial value. So that's when business professionals come into picture. So they will try to market your technology, they will try to get you companies who are interested in your technology to take your license, right? So these are the different kind of domain expertise you require even in the IPFCs. I'll tell you the composition of ICRISAT's IPFC. We have Dr. Suryamani Tripathi, he's the global legal head of ICRISAT. So he takes care of the law aspect, the legal aspects. So he understands the law, he's a scientist and a lawyer. So he understands the science part and he also understands the legal aspects. So he understands the filing, what are the, you know, forms and all are required, all of that. And then I'm the business, I'm a business professional. So I'm not the law attorney, I'm not an attorney, I'm a business professional. So I help with understanding the business strategies, how you have to get more momentum to your technology, how do you bring it to market and all of that. And then we have a separate team of attorneys who can help you with the filing. So this is the kind of composition that we have with IPFC, and that is what I'm saying. This could be an inspiration to you. I'm not saying follow this only. I'm not here to tell that. I'm saying this is what is working out for us. It can work out for you also. Okay? So then what, any other question that you have?
See, you have utility patents, you have also design patent, you have also trademark. So utility patent has got the maximum value. followed by design patent, because sometimes
Sir.
it happens, people.
Sir.
Yeah.
Before taking that, I want to ask:
Yeah.
do you have all of you have an idea of different types of IP? How many? No. Okay, can you just randomly tell me what are the IPs that you know? Not just patent is like it's become the jargon everybody wants to use. Patent, patent, patent. Apart from patent, how many IPs do you know? Okay. So the first thing that you should know is how many types of IPs are actually there. Okay. And today, because I know there is this crowd is like either they have very good knowledge about IP, or some don't have any knowledge. Some are like in between. I don't know whether I have the right information or not. The confused souls. Okay. So I will try to just give some foundation about different IPs, so that you know what is IP and what you need to do with it, because there are students also over here. Technology transfer is, you have a technology. I mean, it's very suggestive. The word is very suggestive. You have a technology, you're trying to transfer it from one organization to other, one party to the other. That is from lab to market. Okay. So research transforms money into knowledge. Technology transforms knowledge into money. Do you agree? Right? You're putting a lot of money into R&D. That's why research is changing your money into technology. But what technology transfer does, it again changes that technology into money. So always remember this. Every research that you do, it needs to have a commercial value to it. Otherwise, what is the point? It's a dead end. You're going on putting your resources into a pit to see no outcome out of it. Right? So I don't want to go with the process yet, but now you understood that IP is a very important aspect for technology transfer. I'll start with what is an intellectual property. Okay. No, wait. Okay, can you munduke anara sare? No, wait, it's okay. I want to understand from you what you can do with a house property. That side is very active. This is also very active. No active from there. They're very lost. Sorry? Yeah, so now you have a property that you own, house property. What can you do with it? I don't want this side to answer. They have very good information. Yeah. Lease it, rent it, sell it, mortgage it, right? Whatever you can do with house property, you can do with intellectual property also. Just the difference is house is, something to real estate. IP is something, it's a mind property, intellectual property. Okay? That's it. So this is the very basic concept that you should know, that whatever you can do with your house property, you can do with your IP also. You can use the property, you can sell it, rent it, mortgage it, and of course, if you are the owner, you won't allow others to stay in your house, right? If they have to be there, they have to pay a rent to you. Which is the same like licensing. If they have to use your technology, they have to pay a royalty to you, right? So this is the basic concept that you need to put in your mind. Start seeing your technology and invention from this, eye. Yeah, of course. You can get loans out of it. I mean, this is not a scenario in India yet, but countries like South Korea and all, their IP system is so advanced that banks actually give you loan based on the surety of the technologies that they have developed. So the companies get loans based on their IP portfolio. This was an eye-opener for me also, because I think last year I went to South Korea for a program on IP, and trust me, their IP system is way, way ahead than what India is doing. I was shocked with the kind of preparedness that they have with their IP. It was like too much for me to take. I'm like, what? This is happening? So
I work with Samsung as a country head with Saudi Arabia. So when iOS and Android, where the baby boomers came into Gen Z, what happened is that Samsung had IP protection for something known as their BADA platform, BADA, BADA platform. Until then, open source platform was not there, Google was not there. So what happened, they didn't have that IP protection. Now they have bought this, and now they are using it as an AMOLED and then the other LEDs that are having now. So that is the level of IP protection in other European countries and West. But here we have transformed from 10 years ago to what Sir said. We are far more better than what we were.
absolutely, I think the kind of forwardness that we have adopted in the last 5 to 10 years, I'm very happy with how things have progressed, because with a country of such large population, to bring all of them to at least this level in 10 years, it's not a small achievement. It's definitely not a small achievement, and for that, lots of accolades need to be given to the government for their efforts. They're very aggressive. There was this national IPR policy that came in 2016, and that's when the dynamics of IP has changed incredibly. If you actually want to, develop an IP policy for your own institute, first thing is you check out for the IP policies of different institutes that are available on their websites. Second, you can also see it from the national IPR policy as to what they've included in their in the national IPR policy. They have adopted it at the national level. You could do it at your institute level, right? But at least you will have an idea of what an IP policy should contain, what is the what it needs to target, and how it needs to be executed. Okay? So I gave you a simple definition of what IP could be, and I don't think I need to actually read this out. Okay? And so these are the different types of IPs: patents, trademarks, copyrights, geographical indications, industrial designs, plant variety protection, trade secrets. Patents are granted for inventions where there is a science component involved in it, where there's a functionality component involved in it. So it's an exclusive right that's given to the inventors. It's a statutory right, it's a legal right that you have if you have a patent in hand. And so the patentability criteria, the first thing when I start interacting with the innovators, the first thing I ask them first is, I want to understand what is their technology, and we have it through something called invention disclosure forms. Okay? If you do not have that mechanism, please make a note of it. Anyone who's facilitating for patent filing or IP filing, the very basic step is to actually gather information about your technology via invention disclosure form. I'll try to show that as well. I think some people who have already heard my lecture, I have already shown what is the invention disclosure form. I'll try to show that also. So it has questions about technology, what is the technology, the features of the technology, what is the existing market variant to it, how is your technology different from the existing variant, what are the marketability aspects to it, what are the financial, lucrative aspects to the technology, all of that we try to capture. So based on the information that you provide in the invention disclosure form, we do a patent search. So once we do a patent search, we will try to retrieve patents that are very close to your invention or technology. And then we give it out to you saying that these are the patents that we found very close to you. Now, being an expert in your domain, you being the inventor, you know your technology better. So we ask you to do a comparison between your technology and the patents that we have retrieved. Okay? You have to convince us how your technology is different from the patents that have already been retrieved. Once you convince us that there is some innovative component in it, and that some innovative component is this patentability criteria. These are the criteria that need to be met: novelty, non-obviousness, and utility. Novelty is your technology shouldn't have been in the public domain. Okay, so once it is in the public domain, it's the public property. You cannot claim your ownership, right? So it shouldn't have been in the public domain in any form. When I say that, most of the startups, they go for lots of pitches, they go for lots of exhibitions and all. And they put out their technology, they put out their information about what they're doing. That's fine. But be very strategic in your, in the way you put it out. Decide how much of the information I will put it in public. You cannot be an idiot to put out every critical information into public, right? So be mindful of how much information you want to reveal it and in what stages, okay? You should be mindful enough to reveal only information that can garner interest, but not to an extent that somebody can copy and they are smart enough to go and file a patent in first go, seeing your technology details, okay? So don't do that. Because when I was, recently we had one case where we've been helping out one startup filing their intellectual property. So they're doing very good. What they did, suddenly I got a frantic call from the startup CEO saying that, we got a infringement slapped against us, and we have a notice that we got from them that, we have copied their designs. I said, can you show that? That notice had images where the person who slapped that case against them, he visited their R&D facility. He has taken the pictures of their research, their machinery and all. And he put out a case saying that, this machinery is close to what I am developing already. And that guy was very smart enough because he filed the design applications maybe 3 or 4 years back, and he had a grant design. These guys were not smart enough to file for a design application. Frantically, they started calling me that, now what I can do? And I'm like, this is something that you should have thought before. You have invested so much of money in developing the technology, the machinery and all, and you didn't protect it. And they're doing very well in their space. So that's what I'm saying. When you give the access to people to see your technology or come into your R&D space, you should be mindful enough of how much you want them to see. That is a strategy that you have to have in mind. How much you want to allow them to see, how much of the details you want to put it in public domain, okay? So even with IPFCs also, we always ensure that the information that you share with us is confidential. Even if not IPFCs, with any IP stakeholder, facilitator that you're interacting with, the first thing that you should ensure is the confidentiality of the information that you're sharing. That the information that you shared will only be utilized for the purpose of IP filing. And they cannot share that information with any other entity, okay? So that's the reason you have to be very careful when you choose your attorney, when you choose your IP facilitator also, okay? We have met countless attorneys who misguide people because they're very commercial, okay? So they're very desperate to just file for IPs because they want that number, and you know how people are outside. So that's why be mindful of what are the kind of people you approach to, okay? What are their credentials and how much of the information that you're putting out. So novelty aspect, again, if you have published your information in a research paper already, it means that it's already there in public domain, so you cannot patent it. That's the reason anybody who's approaching us, we tell you first file a patent, you first file your IP, and then go for publishing. You have an IP application number, that's sufficient. You do not have to go until the grant to stop your research paper publishing. You just file for IP, you have a application number, and immediately the next day you can go and publish your research paper. You can do that, okay? Because for patent filing, the first thing that they say is filing date. When was the date of filing? That is the priority date, okay? Inventive step, it's non-obviousness. Like, for example, there is a process A and process B, and you are mixing these two, A plus B, the outcome is C. And that outcome C is very obvious. Very obvious to me, very obvious to experts in that domain also. Then what is the novelty aspect in it? If you all are already, by seeing that, yeah, outcome C is very obvious, then what is the point? Where is the novelty, right? So you have to, pitch in a way, you have to convince the examiner that, when A plus B is mixed, the outcome is E or F. The examiner who's sitting there evaluating your patent application is also somebody who's expert in your own domain, right? Do you agree? If you are developing a technology in agriculture, so the expert who's sitting over there evaluating patent would not be a computer science engineer. He will also be an expert from agriculture itself. So he also knows it.
Samsung company, when they invented this capacitor touch, that time iOS and this iPhone company, they used to have a layer 4 touch. Later, Apple company sued against this Samsung company, stating that it is also our technology. They upgraded it simply, and they are now making so much money. And later, the court has decided and asked Samsung company to pay some millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Now, what is non-obviousness then in this? What is obviousness? Because Samsung company went on stating that this is non-obvious. Because oleophobic is different and capacitor touch is different. Where Nokia company earlier had resistor touch, where it was totally different. And the Samsung company, to some extent, in the eastern part of the countries, okay, in Asia like Korea, etc., the court said, okay, you are good, you need not pay. But in Europe, they have asked her to pay them. Why it is so? Why in some countries it is obvious and why in some other countries it is non-obvious?
As part of Samsung, I was part of these discussions because I was the country head. Yeah, I was country head in Saudi Arabia of Samsung. Okay, so this capacitive touch issue that came, all the East Europe were with Nokia was having a problem with Symbian. So Samsung came in and basically acquisitioned everything customer that was with Nokia. So from 83% market share, it came down to less than 10%, Symbian. So what happened? Only America has such strong ties where it can sue anybody. So Apple, based in America, especially California, has that viability and tempo to do that. But whereas the other countries, Samsung was selling like peanuts. So Samsung had all the money to take care of their legal issues in every country. That's the reason this capacitive touch didn't come out. And you see, the same happens with AMOLED and OLED technologies. That's where the whole thing. So patent is not about, as madam said, very important point. It's not about research, design and patenting and trademark. It's about basically the business person to understand how to go to market and the go-to-market strategy.
Maybe like someone has already invented a 4K resolution phone. Now maybe tomorrow 8K or 12K. I invented it. Someone will say, see, already we have 4K. The next step is 8K. You invented it and you are saying it is non-obvious. No, we have that patent right.
So
how am I going to defend then?
Exactly. So as an inventor, you should be able to figure out from that 4K to 8K transition, where is that inventive step? What you have done differently that has enabled that scale up. So as an inventor, it is your responsibility to identify.
I must insist on that particular point.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that is where the attorneys and the IP experts come into the picture, where they know the knacks of how to draft the document and highlight that inventive step.
Then why Samsung company, such a big company which even manufactures armored tanks, was unable to defend itself against Apple company in the West?
It could be that, the opposite party had a better team to handle
Maybe in
it.
America.
We buy things from China, and there are all the chip manufacturers from China. There is an issue with Taiwan. Okay, so China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, we call it the Bermuda's Triangle. Okay, so there is an issue in buying this. So being the country head from the Samsung side in Korea, what I saw is that there are countries which are friendly, which are having like the BRICS or the G8 or the G7, but there is America, who wants to be the godfather of all. So Apple from there is always Apple, think different.
But if that is the case, it is really funny. Rolls-Royce company, which is producing 15-20 crores amount of car, selling it in the market, the same car is manufactured in China for hardly 1 crore. And no one is going to sue against them.
See,
Then what is the importance of patent right actually? Because country to country this patent right is changing actually.
Also, IP rights are territorial in nature. IP rights are territorial in nature. That is, you have filed for patent application in India, so your enforcement rights are only in India.
Indian pharmaceutical companies have territorial rights.
No, it's different. It depends on the companies. You see, again here, that's why I'm saying IP is a business strategy. Now, sir, you have a company. So you have to identify where your business is. Is your business only in India or in any other country? First, identify those countries. And then you identify in which countries you want to go for patent protection.
And the other part, you have to mark on that IP, because your marketing communication to be crystal clear that you own it. If you don't market your own patent, then you are not existing there.
Okay, so patent is territorial in nature. So if you have the rights in India, then your enforcement is only within India. Like you cannot go and commercialize your patent in another country. Okay.
Madam brought up this. I'll give an example. Actually, there was some drug by Novartis. Actually, Novartis has about 200 patents on that. But when Dr. Reddy's and Son had developed the similar product and went to the market, then Novartis filed a lot of claims against them. But there was some issue, a small thing which worked in their favor was the release time of the drug. Like Novartis was claiming it like 25 seconds for release. And these guys were telling like ours is below 20. See that? Just the small terminology what you use in the patent makes a lot of difference. So that 25 seconds they were claiming it's 25 or plus 5 seconds. These guys were claiming like it's below 25. So that made the difference. So that simple words what you use make a lot of difference here.
Exactly. So that's why it's very important how you draft your claims. Only person who are expertise in that field know they have that knacks and that smartness to draft the claims in that way. Okay, so that's why go back and first go through the patent document, observe the language. It's not the regular language that you use in research papers. It's very different. So if you want to see qualitative patents, go for these big companies, Apple, Samsung. They have a whole team is working on it.
And also when you talk to an expert, probably you guys look at a single component to file a patent, but there may be multiple components of a thing which can be patented, which a lot of you guys miss out on. When you talk to an expert, probably you get a lot of things in that case. If I tell ki I'm patenting a technology kind of thing, there will be a lot of sub-components attached to it, which you guys might be missing out. Because that happens in a lot of cases where we are trying to help with a lot of startups also in that sense ki don't file a single patent. There may be a lot of sub-components which you can target and file patents on. So when you talk to an expert only, you get that advice. And just because we guys are in the academic stream, we don't think in that way. So better you think in that sense, talk to an expert like madam or we or you do have some experts, then please reach out to them. So that will add more value. And also, because we are talking about this, if you have some IP, actually it ultimately helps you in valuation of your company also. Because a lot of, when you go to an investor, your company valuation will be mostly based on aspects like IP, your business model, your target customers and all that. If you don't have a proper IP, your valuation will come down very drastically. And a lot of companies do have that problem because because we do a lot of investor connects and people have some great technologies. When we go to the investors, they simply tell, sir, we have just filed it. The investor is like, chalo yaar, forget it. Because see, it's all key, it shows you seriousness as a startup, ki how you want to go ahead, start your business. So you should be very clear in the sense ki you should file for IP, you should get that IP, then take it forward. If you don't have the seriousness to take it forward, you'll be just like, sir, I filed a patent. Then the investor is like, see, you should have done it long ago, which you are not yet doing. You are probably not following up at least. So that will kill the interest of the investor ultimately. Because a lot of people lose out on this aspect, so I just want to bring this out here.
So these are some of the features of a patent, that the validity is for 20 years. It gives you an exclusive right to sell, rent out, mortgage, all of that I've already discussed. it's a negative right. Why? Because it is monopolistic in nature. You are stopping somebody from using your technology. That's why it's a negative right. As I said, your rights, your enforcement starts from the date of filing. Like for example, you file your patent application today and it's getting granted after 2 years, okay? But your enforcement rights start from today. Okay, that means that in these 2 years, if somebody has filed a patent application or you have found out some infringement, you can support your case that I have filed my patent application already and your rights have started right from today. Okay, so even if the patent has been granted after 2 years, it's fine. Your rights enforcement will start from today. So that will help you in winning the litigation cases and like for example, you see some competitor is actually trying to mimic your technology and executing it. You can tell them that I have already been in this space and we have already filed a patent 2 years back. So the charges that they have to pay for misappropriating your technology is from they'll calculate it right from the date of filing. Okay.
That 20 years is from granting date to 20 years?
Filing date. Filing date. It's territorial in nature, that's what I said. If you want to enforce your patent rights or IP rights in some other country, you have to take protection in those countries. Okay? But when you're doing a patent search or for a patent to be granted, they will look out for if that technology or invention is across the world. Because anywhere in the world, if it is there, it means that it's there in the public domain. Okay? So that is what they'll see, that across the world if it is there or not. But for the legal enforcement, your restriction is only within the jurisdiction where you have applied for. It's granted to product processes, product process compositions, and that's a different theme altogether. I don't want to touch that. Are you able to read this? Anyone? What does it say? Method and instrument for proposing marriage to an individual. It's a US patent application. So do you think it's a good application? No. The very basic thing, what is a subject matter for a patent? It's a science. There needs to be some functionality to it. This is a this could be a business method where there may be some dating company which has worked on this unique, innovative way of proposing, but what is the science in it? So the subject matter for patent is science, the functionality, okay? After I finish all of this, I will try to show everything in one technology so that you are clear on when I talk about one device, in that device itself, how many IPs are there. So give me this. Should the invention be simple or complex? Simple, okay. Complex. It can be anything. It can be simple, it can be complex. It's based on what is the problem that you are solving. It could be a simple solution, it could be a complex solution also. Maybe initially people have found out complex solutions and that has been simplified, and now you have a simple solution. So an invention can be both simple and complex. Paperclip. It's a patented product. Can you imagine? Safety pin. So, IP is everywhere. You just have to look around and you will find all the technologies which would have been patented long back. Now, if you see in the previous slide, I told the patent validity is 20 years. So what happens after 20 years? It comes into the public domain and anybody can use it. Okay? So paperclip. This was in 1927 and we are using it even till date. Right? And almost, you never know, in the paperclip also there might have been different designs that might have come up with improvements and more efficacy. Okay? So, this 6-player circular chess, this is a complex patent that was filed. Yeah. Hairbrush is one example. You use hairbrush every day, but the different designs in hairbrush with different efficacy levels. There are electronic brushes, there is a normal comb. The comb is the underlying technology, but there's so many additions that have come up for the base technology, right? See, that's what, there is an inventive step in each of the technology. The comb is the base technology, the electronic part, or now these brushes have the straightener thing also attached to it, that you just brush. You don't have to have a separate straightener. You just brush and your hair gets straightened. So there's novelty that's coming up for as simple as a brush that you see every day. Golf ball. Balls also are patented inventions, right? The balls have different materials, the density of the material that's used, the volume, everything. There's a science to it, right? Don't you think so? Egg carton. Egg carton is also patented this thing. Pizza box. There's so many patents on pizza box. There is this meme that goes around, right? Why is the pizza box rectangular when the pizza is, circular? There is some science involved in it. That is why they have to keep the heat of the pizza to ensure that the pizza doesn't, probably spill over and all. So the Domino's one, it has a triangle one also. Yeah. Right? So see, all these little things in even pizza box are also patented. Hair clip, toilet paper, wrapping, eye mask. These are very simple inventions that you see every day that are patented. Don't you think these are simple inventions? Very simple. But imagine so many years back, if somebody could think of it, that is where your power lies, in the intellectual, the creativity. You can solve a problem even with a simple one or a complex solution. It's up to you. Whatever it is, be creative, okay? You have to have a intellectual component to it. Don't come up with something that's very casual and something that everybody expects it to be. These are some useless inventions. I think so, but you can, have a different opinion to it. So this is a food cooler. Do you think it's not useful? Food cooler, this one. This one. Yeah, see, again, there are two types of people over here, consumers. One category of users, they don't want to eat hot food. And one category only wants to eat hot food. And some category of people will say, what is the need to have a device to it? Put it under a fan and it'll get cool. Why do we need a device for it? This is how patent examiners also will cross-question you to support you. It's your responsibility to support your technology and convince them how it is, where is the novelty aspect, where is the inventive step, whether there is a utility to it or not. Since you are the inventor, you know your technology better. Okay? And this is the mobile dryer on the car. You go for journeys. Don't you have the problem of wet clothes being wrapped in the luggage? Jugaad solutions, frugal innovations. So if you ask me if it's useful, I will say it is useful. Of course it's useful. But again, you have to convince the examiner whether there is a utility aspect. No. Yeah. That's what it says. I mean, it says not patented. But that was a crazy. Of course, this is creative. Have you ever thought that on the car, on the go, I will dry my clothes? This is very creative. Even for creativity also, there is no measure to say this is creative, this is not creative. For me, it is creative. For you, it is not creative. What is this? Amo, I want answers. This is very simple and that I'm asking. So, but I haven't written the names anywhere. Right? But just seeing the logos, you're able to identify the source. Okay? So that is the importance of trademarks, the logos. where by just seeing the logos, you're able to identify the source. What is this? Self-explanatory. I don't have to kind of describe anything, right? So trademarks are that kind of an IP which reminds you the source of the goods or services. Okay, so that's why for a startup, or for that matter if you're launching any product, the first thing that we say is seek for trademark protection. Okay, because it is a branding tool for you. Having a unique name, it is a marketing strategy for you, marketing tool for you. Okay, so that's why trademarks is very important. As I said, it identifies the source of goods and services. It's the face of the company, obviously. By just seeing the logo, you could identify. Because see, even in the logo also, if you observe, in that Swiggy logo, is that logo suggestive of the business that it does? Anywhere, is it saying that, that it helps in food delivery? Very good, Superman. Another one, geotagging. See how you can perceive the logo design. Geotagging, yeah, of course, it delivers from a location to location, so I can take that. Superman, of course, don't you think the delivery partners are less than superheroes? Right? So that's what you see. The logos, Apple logo also, it's an apple. Can you connect it to a phone? When you imagine so many years back when Apple has come up with a logo like that, they have built their brand in such a way that that logo becomes synonymous to a phone now.
Steve Jobs made it like Adam's apple, that's why the bite is there.
So you can imagine how creative they were, that they have given a secondary meaning to that particular picture. That is what you should do. When you're looking out for trademarks, when you're trying to register a trademark, be so abstract, be creative in that, so that, again, there are two categories. Either your logo could be so suggestive that, just by looking at the logo, you can tell what kind of business you are into. Or you could be very creative enough to say that you come out with a very creative logo and you develop a brand around it such that that brand, that logo acquires a second meaning of your product. Okay? Lenovo, Dell, all of these. When I tell you Lenovo, what meaning does it have? But when I say Lenovo, now you know it's a laptop brand, right? So they have come up with such creative names where now Lenovo means laptop, where now Dell means a laptop. Okay? So that's how trademarks should be, or it's better to have trademarks. That way I don't want to say should be and it has to be like this. It's just that I'm just trying, it's good to be this way. Again, a trademark could be a logo, it could be a name, it could be a shape. How many of you know the Toblerone chocolate? See, we have such good people over here already.
Because this belongs to Kraft Foods.
Okay.
And today it's now Mondelez.
Oh, Mondelez is Cadbury's, this thing.
They have taken it, Cadbury as well as
Acquired it, okay.
Earlier it was Kraft Foods.
Okay. So see, Toblerone, it's known for its shape. I haven't come across any chocolate which is a triangular shape. It's exclusive to Toblerone.
Your hand in less than 30 seconds.
Okay. So slogan, I'm loving it. Always McDonald's, it doesn't say McDonald's, it say I'm loving it. Whenever on a TV there is an ad running about McDonald's, you don't say you don't hear McDonald's, you hear I am loving it, right? And when you hear the tagline, you know that it's the ad of McDonald's. They've acquired a secondary meaning to those slogans, to those logos. How many of you remember this? It has defined a generation, don't you think so? Memory. So the Airtel jingle, so many phones in 2000s had that Airtel jingle, and they did not have to explicitly say that, you know, I have an Airtel connection. The caller tune was this jingle, and you automatically knew that it was Airtel, right? So that is their, again, marketing strategy, the branding strategy. It's a sound mark. What is this? But there was no name out of it. I did not write any name on it. But how you know it? Windows. No, not Microsoft. Windows. You remember we grew up with these sounds. Every time when we had the PCs, this was the startup sound. Now we don't have that startup sound, unfortunately. But it refreshes your memory that you still reconnect this jingle to Windows. Though now Windows does not have that particular sound. Branding again. What is this? We saw so many cartoons, Disney and all. So, but see, again, I did not put out any poster, nothing. I just made you hear the sound. And you had so many brand names cropped up. That is what your trademark should do. It should remind you of your company, your brand. Okay? This is again some unconventional trademarks, smell marks, where some perfume companies, they can have a very specific smell that is only for you. I don't know how it can be protected for sure. This is still unconventional, and I'm sorry, I do not have information of how it can be legally protected. But again, it's one kind of a mark, okay? As I said, how you should choose your trademark, it needs to be creative, it needs to be fanciful, as abstract as you can, so that you can generate a brand out of it, okay? Paytm and PayPal, there was a trademark infringement case that went along for them. I think maybe during the COVID or, no, during the demonetization, I guess. When Paytm was rising, I think that this case was at that time, because both the trademarks, they start with pay, and the color combinations is also same. So they fought for it. I don't exactly remember what was the outcome, who paid who, how much. But this was a case that I came across. See. Now tell me which is the real one out of these two? The first one or the second one? Okay. But if you see, it's like both are very similar. If you cannot see this Castrol active, and you put it at a very longest distance, you will think both of them are same, right? It's the way this bottle shape is, the way these lines are placed, the way it feels aesthetically, right? The outer look. This is called industrial design, where what you protect is the aesthetic part of your product, how your product looks, okay? This is called trade dress, actually. See, mouse, cycles, everything, the way your product looks, it's only the looks part, not the functionality part. That the subject matter for industrial design is the outer look, okay? Validity is again 10 plus 5 years. For trademarks, it is 10 years, and you can keep on renewing it for perpetual times, okay? Copyrights, it is for protecting art, literary works, all of that, softwares, music, videos, all of that. Geographical indications, anybody has an idea? Sorry? Banarasi sarees is geographical indication, okay? Again, it is similar to a trademark, just that trademark, it reminds you the source of a particular good or a company. Here, geographical indication, that product reminds you to the source of a particular location. Geographical indication, it is a location. Trademark, there it is a particular company, okay? That's the only difference. Tirupati Laddu is a GI, Okay, Bandar Laddu is a GI. Darjeeling tea is a GI. Pochampalli Ikkat is a GI. Any product that is very famous and you have a location name before to it, it means that it is a GI. I'm not sure whether it is registered or not. It could be that they're still in the process of getting it registered. But usually, if you want to know what is a GI and how it works, again, while all the other IP rights are, it could be encashed by a single person, GI is a community right. One individual cannot own it. It is a community that owns it. Okay, when I say Darjeeling tea, it's a community of Darjeeling tea farmers in the Darjeeling location that are the owners of Darjeeling tea.
I remember the case of basmati rice and haldi,
Mm.
which are originated in India.
Yeah.
Some time ago, multinational companies from China and
Yeah.
USA,
Yeah.
they claimed stating that haldi was invented by USA and
Yeah.
it could only use it.
Yeah, so
And
in
entire Indian nation went against them.
exactly, so we had representations from India saying that it was a traditional knowledge of India. So we showed them documents dating back to so many hundreds and millions of years and saying that this has been in our cultural for a longest time. So again, that is when the component of traditional knowledge also comes into picture, and now we are focusing on that traditional knowledge, building a database also. It is called TKDL, Traditional Knowledge Database. Okay, so turmeric is a traditional knowledge. Basmati rice, even basmati rice also we have GI registrations in India and also Pakistan. Yeah, Rasgulla also, West Bengal or Orissa. 2 states own it.
Just from the IPR part, we got the IPR for Hyderabadi defects. What happened to Hyderabadi biryani item?
No, there was there was an effort to do it, but we couldn't, convince the examiner that it originated in Hyderabad and it's something that's specific to Hyderabad region. I think it's a Persian dish, if I'm not wrong. So you couldn't support it. Yeah. Great. See. No, it's okay. You don't have to.
So Hyderabadi biryani, no, that's fine.
Everybody can be audible. 1 minute. I would like to know because there are so many people after Pista House. And everybody are asking which is the most original and authentic.
So Hyderabad biryani was applied for GI, like Hyderabad Halim. Hyderabad Halim is a GI, and recently we got Hyderabad Charminar Bangles, recent GI for Telangana state. So I worked for Telangana state government, that's why I am very well aware of all the GIs. So Hyderabad biryani was also applied for GI registration, but see, for GI registration, as Ms. Shavanti told, you have to have a community. So when Hyderabad biryani was applied, then there came several communities. So too many cooks spoiled the dish. So then they claimed it is our dish, our dish. So the the people, they didn't give the registration. But still it was applied and they didn't go ahead because of the fighting between the communities. Otherwise we would have got that Hyderabadi biryani as a GI today. Anybody who is an association. So when I was working for the Telangana government, we were working for cattle in Mahabubnagar district. That's a cattle called as Thurpu Poda. So when we went to file this, the examiner, the Unnat Pandit, Professor Unnat Pandit, he said, see, there is no such, according to class 34, there is a GI registration for livestock. But he went ahead and said you can't file a GI for cattle. So you can file for milk, meat, and etc., the products and all, but not for livestock exact. But it is written in the act, GI Act, you can file, but he said they are not giving. So when you are filing GI, then a community will file. For example, we have Pochampalli Ikkat. So the Ikkat people, the Pochampalli people, wherein they can form an association, a community, and together they can file. Yes. So I can give you an example. See, Tandoor Red Gram is a GI product. So Tandoor Red Gram is filed by PGTSIU, Agricultural University. So the owner is Agricultural University as a university. But now they have been, brought out a special rule that one of the applicant in GI should be government organization.
I remember
Thanks.
Bull field. That was exported to Brazil when Brazil book. We had a dispute between India and Brazil that time that it is originated in India actually. That is the reason why it is called Ongol. That is a place called in it is a Prakasham district in Andhra Pradesh. That was a big dispute then. Even some fruits like Totapuri, Banginapalli, some river Ganges area, a person called Khan, I think, from Hoshiarpur, he cultivated a mango which cost around some 5 or 6,000 rupees a mango. That is the taste actually. USA company started claiming the GI right on that. Even China is fighting for the same. The dispute was not still good.
So see, that is what GI right comes into picture for exporting a certain product that is very famous for a particular location. See, when we talk about tandoor dal or Gulbarga tur dal, it has got a GI right because they have showed that if that tur dal is grown in this particular Gulbarga region only then it will show that special characteristics. That special characteristics could be the flavor, the fragrance of the tur dal, the shelf life of the tur dal, the cooking quality and all of that. And all of that features or characteristics attributes to the natural conditions of that particular geographical area. It could be the soil conditions, it could be the weather conditions, right? It could be the minerals that are present in the soil, which uniquely contributes to the taste or aroma or the shelf life, the nutritional part of that particular tur dal. So this is all you have to, again, to convince the examiner why they should give you a GI grant. This is all what they see. Okay? Now with this, so if I take a mobile phone, now if I take this mobile phone, this will have all IP. The technology inside this is subject matter of a patent, right? The softwares that are there in this is a subject matter of copyright, okay? What brand is this? Oppo. So Oppo, if it has the logo, okay. Phones that has a logo on it written, so that is the trademark, okay? The way these cameras are placed, the way these buttons are placed, the speakers are placed, it forms the aesthetic part, which is industrial design, right? So now if you catch a phone, you could see how many different of IPs are there in this, okay? That's how you have to evaluate about every product around you if you want to remember the concept. I wasn't a IP professional, so I'm a MBA graduate. I'm a computer science engineer, and then I did my MBA, and then I got into the IP, this particular domain, and this is how I learned my concepts. So everything was on the job learning. You, sir? No, that's very wrong. You don't have to be a lawyer. You don't have to be a lawyer. As an inventor, you can file for your patent directly. Am I right? Exactly. So, okay, now you have an idea of different kinds of IP. So figure out what IP you want to go for. When people talk about IP, they only think it's patent, patent, patent. But there's so many other IPs that you can file for. And each IP has a different commercial value that it brings. When Kingfisher went down, do you know that the Kingfisher trademark was, of very huge value, despite, they getting into hot water?
Because they were a conglomerate, not just one industry.
Yeah, but the brand value was something that, was so high that, it helped in paying off certain debt also. So that's how important IP is. Okay, different IPs bring different value to your company. So that's the reason you should figure out what IP you need, what is the strategy that you need to adopt. IP is a business, always remember, IP is a business tool. It's a strategic tool. How you use it to your advantage is something that you need to figure out. To even figure out the strategy, you can approach to people like us who can help you with the strategy building. Because always remember, you are the expert in your own domain, that is the science. There are other experts who are experts in their domain. It's better if you take help of theirs so that, you cannot expect a fish to climb a tree. Eventually, maybe, I don't know, the world is changing, even a fish can also learn to climb a tree. But it'll take time, and by the time it learns to climb the tree, already punyakalam velipayindantaru, right? So you don't have to get into all of that, because utilize the ecosystem that is already there around you. That is what I want to say. Okay, so this is about IP. I've tried telling you in bits and pieces how IP can help you in so many things. Anything that you want to ask?
Ma'am, what happens to an IP when it is collaboration between of companies in different countries?
So when you're collaborating with them, you must have signed a collaboration agreement with them. So in that agreement, you have to lay down these clauses and conditions saying that who owns the IP, or what percentage of IP they can own. If there is some royalty that comes when you, when revenue starts generating, how much can be shared and all. This is something that needs to be discussed and written down in
territorial
agreement.
limited, right?
Sorry?
It is.
See, that depends on where your IP enforcement
My
is.
doubt is in 1980s maybe, Suzuki companies collaborated with Maruti, right? At that time, what the process happened?
It's the same. That is what the companies must have figured out in what locations they want to file their IP. They must have filed IPs in different jurisdictions. Again, that's why I'm saying you should understand your business very well, where your business will work in what locations. So you file for IP in those locations, and then you go for collaboration and execute it.
Okay, thank you.
You have a question, sir?
We have submitted something known as a crop card by our student. He is also engineering now, pursuing MBA. So I will request an appointment for the student.
Sure. You
you can give your.
My I'll show. Please take my number, and you can call me anytime and have a conversation. I'm here to facilitate the conversations. Okay, this is about IPFC that I was talking about. How you have to seek an IPFC support is you either approach us through a call or an email, and I will respond. Then I will understand what is your requirement. See, when somebody approaches me, they say that they want a patent, but ideally they might need a design. So they don't know whether they want a patent, they want a design. The nomenclature idea, they do not have the idea of what exactly they need. The nomenclature itself is confusing for them. So I'm like, you don't have to classify what you need. I will listen out to you and I will tell you what you need. Okay? So that is the granular level of support that we aim to offer. I would say I'm aiming to offer. I don't know till what extent, people who have taken the services, they should be able to tell about the quality. But this is our aim, that we be a hand-holding support, right from the grassroots thing. So we will share the required documents. You have to fill us that information. You have to give that to us. We will go through the information, and then we will advise you how you should go ahead. Okay? I will share this presentation with all of you. That's fine. Okay? We have, as sir was mentioning, that because we are an MSME IPFC, we file for IP for free of cost and also at a nominal cost. Two models are there. One is the free scheme is for startups and MSMEs. So you should have an Udyog Aadhaar. Again, one thing that I want to focus on, the ICRIS at IPFC, we are very stringent on the quality. Though we have gotten so many approaches to file for a patent, we've been very adamant on saying that only qualitative ones only will go for IP filing. We are very clear on that. If there is no inventive step in it, or if it is not a good case for grant, we right away tell, please don't go and file for IP. There is some money resources going into it. Why do you want to waste your resources? You are a startup, you are an education institution, finding it difficult to cater to resources. Why do you want to misuse those resources? So we will tell that. Sometimes we will tell you, okay, this is inventable, it can be patentable to a certain extent, or then we will tell you what else in the invention you can make it better to have a good grant case. So we have had cases where we advised how you can make the technology better and make it patentable. We have got grants. I would say we have filed till 25 patents till now, and 10 are granted and all the others are in process. we did not even have one single reject till date. So that is the level of quality that we maintain, and we are very stringent on that. Okay, so I'll share this all with you so that you know how things are with IPFC. These are some of the forms that we ask. These are my contact details. Okay. Any other questions that you want to ask? I would say, see, I am somebody who's been in this domain for now longest time, so I know the difference, because every day I keep talking that language, so I know how it is. But people who are, you know, who interact, or you know, where there's touch point of IP, there are very less touch points of IP in their everyday communication or their work. That is why they don't see the seriousness of the difference of calling it design patent or a utility patent. Even when I say patent also, people just call me and say utility patent, design patent, and I say in India we have two types. It's called patent and a design, industrial design, not design, industrial design. So again, the nomenclature for IP is different from India and other countries. In US, it is called design patent, and a patent is called as a utility patent. Okay, so that's why you should be familiar with the nomenclature and the words also. That's why I tell you, don't apply your brain in the nomenclature, you leave it to me. I will tell you what it is called and in what category it falls in. Okay? Anything else? Thank you. No, I think it is, the formula is same. That is why, you know, it is available in the. You should understand the medicines that you find in generic shops, they do not have a known brand value to it. But the one you find in this big medical shops, they come with a brand. So the cost is the brand value. You are paying for that brand. Drug could be same. I can't say whether, I can't like good the it could be the composition could be same. It's maybe that, you know, the like one inventor has, you know, developed that particular composition, and he might have sold that particular technology to a pharma company, and that pharma company might have further licensed that composition to different categories of pharmaceuticals, where, you know, for a bigger royalty percentage he has given to a one category of pharmaceuticals, for a lesser percentage to a different category of pharmaceutical company. So it depends on that licensing arrangement and all of that.
No, ma'am, because major component would be there's a lot of testing which goes behind that. Animal testing, we do call that stage-wise testing. Actually, we do at 3 to 4 levels. So there's a lot of testing, and where for a drug, exception of COVID drug, usually for any drug to come into market, it takes about 5 to 6 years. Because we start off with a small trial, then we go to a medium size, and we do it on more than 500 plus. We have to do that, a mandatory thing. So that is expensive in a sense. So generic drugs are usually kind of key where it's already proven, like if you tell Tulsi, like turmeric has that kind of effect and all that. It's all put into that. So there's no kind of a cost component to it. So that seems to be a cheaper choice. But these drugs go through a lot of clinical trials and all that, so there's a cost component to it. So all that.
See, that's what, when you come to finalizing the cost of a particular product, there are so many aspects that build up to that particular cost, right? There is something called COGS, cost of goods sold. Okay. So there are so many factors that you have to figure out. Cost of production, cost of raw materials, yeah. ఎవ్రీథింగ్. ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఈ ప్రోడక్ట్, ఇప్పుడు మీరే ఒక ప్రోడక్ట్ తయారు చేస్తున్నారు అనుకోండి, మీరు ఆ ప్రోడక్ట్కి ఒక ప్రైస్ సెట్ చేయాలి అని అంటే మీరు ఏమేమి కాస్ట్ ఇన్కర్ అవుతున్నారో ప్లస్ మీరు ఒక ప్రాఫిట్ మార్జిన్ వేసుకొని అమ్ముతారు కదా. సో దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ ఈవెన్ మెడికల్ కంపెనీస్ డూ. Why it differs from company to company ante. Now if you ask me why people prefer generic drugs, I am not aware of it. Why? What could be the reason of that choice of usage is not something that I know, because I'm not into that field. So apologies on that.
One more thing is why generic medicines are more cheaper. This is me. Actually, generic companies are producing only those medicines whose formula is already in the public domain. So there is no R&D being put in.
Exactly, very good point actually. Because once patent validity enable in Japan 20 years. So the generic drugs is usually that they have patent validity అయిపోయింది. It's been more than 20 years. So it's now there in the public domain for anybody to use it. So these pharmaceutical companies, they pick that products, pick that compositions, and they prepare the medicines. Okay, that's why, because they're getting the knowledge from public domain for free of cost. That's why they are able to offer it for also a very less inexpensive price. Okay. Anything else? Either it's like they have understood everything.
Thank you. Probably పావు గంటేనండి, ప్లీజ్ బేర్ విత్ మీ. దాని తర్వాత విల్ గో ఫర్ లంచ్, దెన్ పిచ్చింగ్ ప్రాబబ్లీ ఐడియాస్ ఇన్ దమ్ who have come here. One thing, what madam said, I'll add to that. Madam is very good at IP and all that, and we are good at technology commercialization. So you guys have anything with that, please do reach out to both of us, and we're always ready to help you guys. And I tell you, we are not confined to a domain also. We do work on multiple domains, and we do have connects with multiple people, multiple investors of different ticket sizes. So we do have, probably if I tell you, my recent one was 21 CR for a food startup, alternate meat. So it's there, market is there, but you have to come up with your technologies, pitch it to a vegan meat actually. That guy happens to be, you'll be interesting that guy happens to be a IFS officer, Indian Foreign Service officer. He resigned from his post and he started a startup, and probably one brand which is doing good of many brands across India. I forgot the name, but he has a shop in Mumbai airport also. That guy had a passion, and surprising thing was like he wanted to test the product of how the taste looks like. So what he did was he started a chain of restaurants across India, 10 restaurants, and he tested that on his customers. And he got that feedback, and when he put it out for IP and all that stuff, that came into play. Very interesting strategy actually. So I'll start off with probably, excuse me, I forgot to get my cards due to my traveling. So please reach out to me on my email ID, on my phone number if you have something. Then probably, because you guys are all aware of IICs, but I'll tell you how many IICs are currently there in India and what role we are playing as such. So this is a little bit old information from last year, but currently we do have about 14,000 IICs in India. And we, as ecosystem enabler, we claim it to be the biggest innovation ecosystem across the world, because there's no other ecosystem which has so many kind of institutional innovation councils which are fostering innovation and all that. So, and especially if I tell you in AP and Telangana, we do have about 1,400 IICs.
which is a huge number compared to any other states. And then I wanted to know how many of you IICs are helping out Atal schools and all that? 3 schools. And anybody else? I brought this up because see, we also we want to match your centers based on because we will be visiting every institution as such, but we want to map you guys to school innovation councils and Atal tinkering labs so that you guys are competent enough to guide them and probably lead them to a good stage. And you guys are aware of school innovation councils? And you will be surprised that these are a body formed under AICT only, where we fund school innovations. We fund like 1.5 lakh for selected innovations in schools also. See, think about the opportunity of that. And also, last year participant who was selected for the school innovation councils, there were about 40 ideas selected across. We funded them, we nurtured them, and they are presenting before the Prime Minister of India on 29th of this month on the National Innovation Day. And there were 2 in SCR region, if I have to tell you very specific, one from Hyderabad, from HPS, and one was from Anantapur. So one thing which we, this is all you guys know, mentor-mentee scheme. How many of institutions are under the mentor scheme? Vardhaman, Guru Nanak, yours ma'am? Nalamala. So how many institutes are you mentoring? 4, nice. 5, good. So you know about the IIC rankings and all that. Probably these guys are aware of that, but probably want to know what is the score of like the other guys. Scoring Delsa and IICs. Yeah, you're 4-star. Your mentor institute, so you should be 4-star, at least above 3.5, right? So this scoring, everything is based on how many programs you do, the scale of programs done, and how many hours, days, and all that matters. So what we are doing through AICT is we are matching institutions based on their scoring. So as Sir Guru Nanak and Mallareddy institution, who have all recently, like for the past 3 years, we have got about 3.5, we are putting them under Mentor Institute. And Mentee Institute which have the less score. So we want to match them up so that these guys also add the value to bring their value to your institute and help you guys out. So Yukti is one interesting thing actually, which we are trying to use it now, because I tell you the Innovation Center is formed just a month and a half ago. So we are trying to use this repository to search for patents. And also I would like to bring to your notice that if you guys have some nice patents you think can be commercializable, please do share the data with me or madam. We'll try to evaluate it. We'll see which partner can be brought in, and we can help you out in that regard also. So there's some smart, last year any one of you participated in the Yukti Innovation Contest? You won something, sir? But actually there's some interesting things here. Actually you see, there are few areas like finance life sciences, because last year from Hyderabad there were about 39 which was shortlisted, and from Vijayawada there were about, like Andhra Pradesh was 37. But when you see there are few areas like which are highlighted in red, finance life sciences, only 1 was selected, mining materials 3, smart education 3, smart textiles 1, software web application was 1, sports and fitness was just 2. There are few areas probably you guys can target this time. That's what I feel like. If you guys can concentrate on these areas, probably your winning probability will be more. Because we funded 370, but we found that these areas can be targeted. I'll share the PPT, sir. I'll share the PPT. And Smart India Hackathon is coming probably August or September. So this time, though, every year we do have that, but this time we do have mostly industry problem statements, and we have collaborated with Hero MotoCorp, Suzuki also to bring their problem statements. So if you guys, some guys are working on those areas, probably one thing which we can help you guys is before you submit the applications, probably we can always have an online call or offline call, sit together, probably refine those stuff so that there's a better chance of you getting those things, because we are stationed in Hyderabad and We can always help you guys with that also. Then Kapila scheme, as you guys know, this is to facilitate your IPs. And I remember last year you used to get about 2,800 for your patent filing, right? Through Kapila. But here, this year we have increased to 5,600. But if your startup is registered and everything, with Madam, I don't think that will be at a zero cost. And also we are actually putting, last year it was 50 per institution. This is 100 per institution this year. And for the school level also, we are trying to 5 patents, we are helping them out to file 5 patents per institute also. Then if you want to connect some IP awareness program, sorry, it went back. 1 second. Back. Back. Kindi ranni. 1 second. There's something which we have started recently, which is called as internship portal also, where if you can go to this portal, you can find companies which are hiring for interns and all that. So you can make use of this opportunity also. This simple procedure, you register as a university, search for the institute, search for the company you want to have internship and all that. I talked about the School Innovation Council. I said this is to bring out entrepreneurs from the school also. So last year we gave about 3 crores in funding from AICT. Then what we do here is we take an idea, we actually mentor them before we select them also. We try to do a boot camp kind of a thing where we mentor them and try to see, and then we go for a pitching. Then we select ideas of that, then we help them with POC to prototype development. It's like we do, because we have built up a network, so we do connect the school children also to centers like Nidhi Prayas or some incubation centers which can help them develop their prototype in a sense. Then, as I said, the national level exhibition on 29th July. Then we do help them with IPR filing, product development, and we do a lot of boot camps for them also. Then probably a lot of you might be applying for Idea Labs this year. A lot of you guys already have Idea Labs because I visited Guru Nanak Idea Lab and mighty impressed actually. So the call for Idea Labs is currently open. If you guys want to apply, then that would be a great idea. There are about 113 Idea Labs across India as of now, but we intend to increase it to 150. We are planning to give 150 new Idea Labs this year. So the purpose of Idea Lab is similar to kind of, you guys know about Nidhi Prayas, it's similar to that lines, like it's a state-of-art prototyping facility where 50% of the sharing of, if AICT gives you 55 lakhs and you institution has to put in 55 lakhs. No, it's 55. It's 55. Yes, the first call was 55, then it changed to 95-15. Last year was nothing. This year again it's 55. This year probably, because you guys are very self-sufficient, why do you want to apply for an ID? I think so because you can, because in the recent meeting with Chairman Sir also suggested that if you guys are doing well, then probably we'll sanction a robotic facility. We are trying to, because my idea, because we are going to institutes quoting for good Idea Labs, which can be funded to the next stage of robotic funding. And we are planning to give about 20 to 25 lakhs for the Idea Labs which are functioning well. And that will be fully funded by ICT. Then it's a mandatory equipment. It's mandatory for everybody to buy this equipment like CNC rotor, 3D printer, 3D scanner and all that as part of the grant. Whatever grant you get, 80% should go to non-recurring, 30% should go to recurring as such. Then grant also, you can also, if your institution is able to put in, that is good. Or if you have some industrial partners who can put in, that is also wonderful. This is the call actually. So the major thing, if I have to summarize, maximum funding is 55%, 55 lakhs from AICT end, and we are trying to fund about 150 Idea Labs this year. And major requirement would be you need 3,000 square feet place in your institution, 2,000 for the labs, and 1,000 for the prototyping development area and all that. Then you need to have a separate bank account which you need to audit and give it off. And majorly what you need to be very careful is the 55 lakhs which AICT funds, you need to submit as a UC. And for other 55 lakhs which you are putting in, you need to submit a bank statement showing that. The last date is 27th. So what we plan to do for 2025 as AICT or MIC organization, we are trying to support about 600 ideas at the end of this year. We are, as I said, we are trying to do that Indian investors network, as I mentioned earlier. We want to help you guys. We want to connect you to relevant investors and get funding for your ideas. Through Kapila, we want to enable 15,000 patents, bring awareness among 1 lakh participants. Then we are also planning to do a bigger hackathon challenge also, apart from Yukti, which is under consideration actually. Then we are actually probably in August or September, we are also scouting for institutes which can host we are trying to do a hackathon kind of a thing, and boot camp also. So we are scouting for institutes which can host such kind of facilities. And because we can't do program in every institute, we are trying to go to few reputed institutes and see if they have that kind of infrastructure and all that. Last year I think so Vardhaman hosted such kind of a boot camp here. Yes. And probably if you guys are interested in applying for National Award for Teachers, then 15th July is the last day to do that. Then there's another scheme for very distinct professionals. If you are very experienced in an area, then you can apply for distinct professional schemes where you give mentoring and you are paid for that also. I'll not go into this, but actually when you look at any technology, to add to Madam said, what I'll tell is, when you're developing a product or something, you need to be very careful if you want to make a startup out of it, or you want to sell it to somebody. If you want to sell it to somebody, then you should be very careful if you're selling it to a new startup or an established startup. New startup, actually there's a challenge those guys can do good, and but your returns will come late, but those guys can do good job. But one restriction would be their finances, because it's a new startup, they'll have that restriction. Then if you're an established company, you can give it on a royalty model or something, but there's every chance that those guys, if you don't do proper documentation and everything, those guys can actually acquire your full thing. That is one thing which you need to be very careful of, and while drafting that agreement kind of thing, you need to be very careful in that sense. And one more thing which we are also seeing these days is institutions can start a startup on their own, like you can start a name of a startup on that, and you can license out different technologies from that also. That is a good business strategy to do also. And what you otherwise, like if it's a non-profit institution, then probably you can give the technologies to a startup which is doing that, and you can take a royalty or sell off. Because we usually suggest only two models. Like it's a sale off model, like you sell the technology as such, or you give it on royalty basis. And that is what we suggest actually. And you guys might be aware, but just wanted to bring your notice that there are a lot of fundings available which probably are easy to capture, and you guys are not using that. One thing would be Startup India Seed Fund, because a lot of you guys have that expertise, and Government of India probably, if I have to say, is giving a lot of funding in that sense. Like you get about 5 crores in funding for your institute, you can fund a lot of startups using that, you can take equity in the startups also. So you guys can apply for Startup India Seed Fund, which is easy to get to. The major criteria would be your presentation as such, and credibility of your institution. The second thing would be Nidhi Prayas, because I see that only few institutes, IIC institutes have that Nidhi Prayas scheme. Here also you get about 7 lakh crores in funding, because you get about 10 lakhs into 10 participants per year. Like say 1 crore you can fund every year. You get up to 5 years, and also you get a crore for developing your infrastructure and all that. So it's a great funding to have. And based on your geographical location, if there's no Nidhi Prayas center near you, then you have a good chance of getting it. And Startup India Seed Fund is open throughout the year, but Nidhi Prayas will be opening probably next month or so. Then there's something called a BIRAC grants also, where BIG is a very prestigious grant to get. We call it as BIRAC Ignition Grant, which you get about 50 lakhs in funding. And the name is like a biotechnology, so a lot of people think only biotechnology. It's not that way. It's an applicative side of biological sciences, and IoT can be done. AML applicative side to biological science, anything can go with that. If I tell you, I have a very simple example to do that. Example which got funded and which is doing great. You know, right, when you have elder people in your house, they put the tablets in that boxes, right? Which you take at a time, morning, evening, and you differentiate it and put it in boxes. But a lot of people tend to forget because of the age. One guy had come up with a solution where if you don't open that box, that message will come to you. Like first to you to take that. If you don't take, it will go to your children. It's a simple thing, but that got BIRAC funded, that technology got sold off to a US company for $1 million. It's a very simple technology, but think about the applicative side of it. Anything, because we do observe a lot of things in our daily life, but we don't take notice of it. But that was a simple invention that had impact. Then seed fund, equity fund, and all, you get funding, but you need to give off your equity from your company based on the grant you get. There's something called a product commercialization program. The call is open throughout the year, and you get about 10 crores in funding. But here, you have to reach a TRL level of at least 6 to 7. You should be in the TRL of 6 to 7. And how many guys are aware of TRL levels? Yes. Technology readiness levels are based on your stage of what you're doing. Ideation is just 1. Then having a basic prototype is about 4. Going into market is like 7. And totally full-fledged thing is TRL 9. So based on that, product commercialization program is a great thing. If you are having TRL 6 to 7 products, then that would be a great thing to apply. Thank you. Thank you, guys. After lunch, probably we'll listen to your text.
You know, one thing that we already spoke about is we can have some IP clinics at our institutions where it is a one-to-one consultation sort of a session. You can probably at your college level you can figure out who needs that IP orientation, and the experts will spend around 15 to 20 minutes with each of the startup or the innovator, and we will give a one-to-one hand-holding and mentoring about IP. That's what we are also ready to do. Yeah. So you can reach out to sir, he will coordinate with all of you. He will help us with the schedule and all. Because this is something that worked out for us, this one-to-one consultation. ఇప్పుడు ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ అబ్జర్వ్ చేస్తే there are only a certain people who are responding. I'm not saying the other people are not listening, they are also listening, but probably they're not open enough to discuss it because not everybody will have that comfort level. So don't want to judge them. I want to give an opportunity for that kind of audience also who prefer to have conversations in private and with a very small group. Okay? We want to cater to all kinds of categories. So feel free to think. Even programs conduct చేసే దాంట్లో కూడా మీరు క్రియేటివ్గా ఆలోచించండి. I keep getting requests from colleges that we want a session and I'm ready to do that. But beyond a session, think of something like this also, mentoring sessions, hand-holding sessions, where that gives more outcome to you, more tangible outcome. ఈవెన్ మీరు ఆ సెషన్స్ పెడతారు కదా, 100 పీపుల్ని పిలుస్తారు, 100 మందిలో ఎవరు వింటారో, ఎంతమందికి కావాలో నాకు తెలియదు. ఓకే, సో కమ్ అవుట్ విత్ సంథింగ్ దట్ వర్క్స్ అవుట్ ఫర్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ అస్. I mean, because we are a facilitator, we are happy to do anything that you want. But you figure out what is your need and, you know, devise programs that will work out for you. That I would say. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Dear participants, the lunch is arranged. The lunch is arranged at the Block 6 VIP lounge. It's exactly opposite to the library, library block. It is Block 6. So, yeah, even we have a Vardhaman faculty here. Maybe you can please go get it in. We request all the participants to kindly join us for the lunch. Thank you. Yeah. The lunch break is from 1:30 to 2:30. We request everyone to again gather back by here by 2:30. Thank you.